Hello, my name is Diane, and I wanted to do some videos because I'm about to have thyroid removal surgery for my entire thyroid here in about a week and a half. So I wanted to kind of do my story and I guess hopefully help some other people that may be going through this issue as well. My name is Diane, and I believe that I went undiagnosed with Hashimoto's disease for over 12 years. I'm going to start out with my original story, which was I started feeling a lump in my throat and I went to my doctor and they ran the normal blood work, and everything came back fine, of course, and they sent me to an ENT. The ENT did the camera down my nose, looked in my throat, everything was fine, and they also believed that I may be having some issues with my tonsils, because I had a ton of issues with my tonsils when I was young. So they took those out, hoping it would help my issues with swallowing. I have hair everywhere, I'm sorry. So it did not help with my issue of feeling like I had a lump in my throat. So back to the doctor, and the doctor sent me to the gastroenterologist, who did the camera down my mouth and into my stomach area, which they couldn't find anything either. I went from doctor to doctor to doctor. Also went to like an allergist. They couldn't find anything. All the while my blood work, quote, was normal. And I finally just gave up. I just figured this is something I have to live with. I will just live with this feeling, and that'll be it. So okay, so that was about 12 years ago. My son was little. My son's going to be 18 next month, so here we go again. The swallowing issue started getting a little bit worse recently, last year and this year, and I was going to have my yearly woman visit, and I figured I'll just ask my gynecologist to run my numbers, my blood work again, and see how it goes. And I told her all my my symptoms about this feeling of the lump in my throat. Also, of course, at this point I had done a lot of research, and I knew what all the thyroid symptoms were for hypo. I didn't have any idea that it would have been Hashimoto's. So I have the driest skin on the planet. I have the driest scalp on the planet. I also switch back and forth from being extremely tired to having insomnia. I go from not being able to lose weight at all to being able to putting it back on and not being able to lose it again. I go from being constipated to the other end of the spectrum. Back and forth, back and forth. I don't think I'm ever really regular. If you look up thyroid symptoms, I've pretty much had all of them. So I told her about all of that, what was going on. She felt my thyroid and said it felt a little inflamed, was going to send me for an ultrasound, and was going to run a full panel on my thyroid. She calls me back the next day. Luckily, they had a lab on site. She calls me back the next day to let me know that I do have antibodies for Hashimoto's, and that I need to be referred to an endocrinologist and go ahead with my ultrasound. So I did just that. My antibody numbers, normal is 0 to 35, I believe, and mine was over 1,000, and it was off the chart. It just said greater than 1,000, so I have no idea if it was, 1,001 or 5,000. So at this point, that's the only antibody work that I've had. This was in, I want to say February. It's now June. I just turned June. So I went and had my ultrasound done. I got my results back from there. I have one large nodule on my left and two smaller on my right. And my daughter's coming in to say hi. and that's what we're believing is causing my my swallowing issues. So after my ultrasound, I met with an endocrinologist. He sent me for a fine needle aspiration biopsy, which is where they take needles and they poke them into the ultrasound. They use an ultrasound to help guide them, and they put the needles into the nodules, into the thyroid, to get as much tissue as they can, so they can test for things like cancer and that. So I went for that. It was very painful. I did it on my lunch break-ish hour, and I took an extra hour and I went back to work afterwards, but it hurt so bad I could barely turn my neck afterwards. They said they numbed it. They put in a needle and, you know, numbed. They went in from like right here. You might be able to still kind of see where they went in through. And they did 3 passes on each side. 1 up, 1 mid, 1 down. Up, mid, and down. And it hurt. They had me lean my head back all the way, you know, they put a pillow under my neck. I had a doctor on one side and a nurse on the other side and someone that was training, you know, behind her. But I was trying not to hold my breath. I have a high tolerance of pain, but I had tears come into my eyes and it was not fun. So anyway, I got the results from my biopsy, and they said that the left side, which is my larger side, is benign. And by the way, this one is 4 centimeters, so it's about 1.5 inches. And then these two, I believe, I can't remember, but I want to say that they are 1 centimeter, roughly, both of them together. I mean, not together, but a piece. So, but on the right side, they said that it came with Hürthle cells, and they couldn't rule out cancer, but they could say that it was probably not. Okay, and it would be pretty much my decision. The only way they would know for sure if it was cancerous or not would be to remove it and dissect it and let me know. So here I go with that decision. I could wait and see, do another ultrasound in 6 months and see if they were growing or not, and or my son's coming in to say hi too. I'm doing a video. So there was me with that decision, and I decided to get a second opinion with a ear, nose, and throat surgeon to see what since he sees these all the time, he's in the neck all the time, could this be causing my swallowing issues? What were his thoughts? So I went to see him. He again did the camera down the nose into the throat to verify that I wasn't having swallowing issues internally, and he said, okay, regardless of all your other issues, you should really have it out due to size alone, because yes, it's causing you swallowing issues, yes, it may or may not be cancer, but the size alone should be enough for it to come out. So there was yet another thing, but it was up to me to make that decision. So I left there. And I thought, and I talked, and I talked, and I talked, and I thought, and I decided I don't want to take that choice. I don't want to take the chance that it is cancer, and I really want to swallow like a human being again and not have trouble swallowing my saliva, let alone everything else. And so I made that decision. And then I think about a week after I made the decision, there's my daughter, I found out that thyroid issues run on my dad's side of the family, and that his brother had thyroid cancer, and one of his other brothers has quit bouncing, please. Has thyroid issues as well, and one of his other daughters has thyroid issues. And on my mom's side of the family, we have a couple thyroid issues, but they're a little more distant, second, third cousins. So I feel a little better about my decision to remove. Again, say hi. Hi. I have this is Sunday, so a week from this coming Wednesday will be my surgery. And I plan on doing some follow-up videos to see how it goes afterwards, while I'm in the hospital, afterwards, a week after, whatever. However many times I feel that I think would benefit other people to know how it is to go through this. So anyway, again, hi, nice to meet you guys, and I hope my story helps someone. I was really looking, did a lot of research, and I'm also looking for other people that have gone through this, and I found some YouTube videos, which is what gave me this idea. So here we go, a week and a half. I'll follow up. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.